Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. It means a lot if you guys keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. And today is part 2. We're going to be talking about the other 9 castaways on 41. I've already done my cast assessment and my deep dive in my part 1, which is in the top right corner right now. Go check that out if you haven't already. Here is part 2 to that series, and let's get right into it. Thank you for subbing. Thank you for doing all that good stuff. Shout out to my thumbnail creator, Skylander. Means a lot, and 72% of you guys who watch this video aren't subscribed. Let's change that. It's easy and it's free. And if that's it, let's get right into the video. Chantal Smith is our next one. Chantal is 34 from the hometown Toronto. She currently lives in Washington, D.C. She's a passer. She likes running, doing improv, acting, dancing, and comedy. She's passionate, authentic, and resilient. Pet peeves: bad breath, secondhand embarrassment. I stand that second one. Secondhand embarrassment is I'll literally have to click off of like a prank on YouTube if like the people involved are like really cringe, because then I get like that secondhand embarrassment. And slow talkers. I'm not a fan of slow talkers because I talk super fast, as you guys know. And so I can definitely agree with that. Accomplishment you're most proud of. I'm most proud of is doing the hard work in therapy and confronting my demons, working through the pain and feelings of injustice, and then being willing to cultivate a relationship with those who let me down when I was little. I like that. I like that. Like it seems like she had issues with people who are with her family when she was younger, and so to see her get over that is super cool. What is something we would never know from looking at you? She says, "I was in a gang." Interesting. Who is your hero? My mom. And she goes into how she saw her fighting her demons until her dying breath, and how she experienced like a bunch of pain in her life, and how her childhood was dark, twisted, and complicated. And she was super hardworking, super sweet. Which past survivor will you play the game like? I think I'm probably going to play the game most like Kim, strategically and relationally, if that's a word, like Ty when it comes to idols. But I have some part of me too. So interesting. Ty is the person I would want to play like, because Ty has a very slim chance of winning in Ko Wrong, because he has no because of his lack of ability to parlay what he's feeling. You know, his communication barrier, and also because even if Ty could speak perfect English, like perfectly fluent and fast and clear English, he probably still doesn't win Ko Wrong. What do you believe you can win Survivor? I believe that I have what it takes to win. I think living on the streets, developing a strong work ethic, and practicing excellence in all that I do is super important. Yeah. So yeah, that's our favorite. Not our favorite, but that is somebody's favorite, Chantel. Okay, next we have Nasir Muttalif. Interesting name. I love it, and I love Nasir as a character. No, I'm not so confident on Nasir as a player, because all of his answers, like in the videos I've watched, have been more about like just how he can like relate to people, this and that. It's never about like strategical, which I need to see something about that pregame. Age 37, hometown Sri Lanka. Current residence California. Occupation sales manager. Hobbies: cricket, traveling, and cooking. Interesting. 3 words to describe you: authentic, outgoing, hardworking. Pet peeves: laziness and people who don't contribute to group efforts. I'm worried that Nasir might be like the Pat, coming out of the gate, and because Pat probably would have got voted out at that first tribal, if he didn't break his back on the boat. So I'm worried that he might do like the whole like take over the shelter and end up being like an asshole, but hopefully he's not. Let's see. And then for going deeper into it, what is the accomplishment that you're most proud of that I have achieved the American dream? I grew up in poverty and living in a mud hut with no electricity or running water in my life. I've never held a cell phone or touched a computer until I was 18. I worked my way up from selling vegetables on the street to making multi-million-dollar sales for my company. I love this answer. Yeah, I love that he's proud of himself for making the American dream come true. And I'm it's a great answer that really culminates what it is to have that opportunity to come live here and make the best of it, and put the work in, which is super cool. Next, what is something that we would never know from looking at you? People would never know that I grew up in a remote village and didn't experience modern conveniences or technology until I was grown. I didn't know how to use a real toilet or shower until I was 18 and moved overseas. In Sri Lanka, we had a hole in the ground and an outhouse for a toilet and bathed in the river behind the house. We washed our clothes in the river. I didn't get my driver's license or really drive a car until my wife, then girlfriend, had helped me get one in Dubai when I was 26. Who's your hero? My mom is my absolute hero. She has sacrificed everything for her children. When I was young, my father was ill. She had to make immensely difficult decisions to leave behind three young children to go work in a foreign countries. As a housemaid, she suffered and was mistreated there, but she did what she had to do to keep us fed. That that's such a great story. That's super sweet that his mom did all that for him. Which past survivor will you play the game most like? I think I'm pretty original and not too similar to anyone who's played the game before. I think I'm unique and will bring something new and refreshing to the table. That's interesting. That he seems to really not having any players. He seems to want to go in and make his own like archetype that he wants to play like, which is super cool. That's it. Oh, he says, why do you believe that you can win Survivor? I'm a strong competitor. I have a unique and engaging personality, and believe that my tribe would want to keep me because I can provide, win challenges, and keep them entertained. I don't like that answer. And see, this is where I lose that like seer hype. Like I still keep it as a character. Like I think he's going to be a fantastic character. But I just don't see Nasir having a chance at winning the game unless he gets to the end with two like goats, like an Erica and like a Liana or something like that. This game is so important to me, and winning it would be my greatest achievement. I have a unique experiences, and that would make me make it to the end. Yeah, interesting. All right. So next person on our cast list is Jeannie Chen. So this is like the wild card. I mean, she seems like she could either be really, really boring and a goat, or really entertaining and still a goat, in my opinion. Everyone says she can be this, that, she can be this, that. I really do think Jeannie has no game. I think she's purely there for a character, and that's it. So she's 46 years old. I think that's the fourth oldest person on this season. She's from Los Angeles, California. She currently resides in Portland. She's a grocery store clerk. She likes cooking, video games. I love that, and thrift store and antiquing shopping. Interesting. Three words to describe you: funny, kind, and sensible. I mean, that's that. I mean, it's a good start so far. I have a feeling it's going to go down from these next answer. Pet peeves: people who wear masks incorrectly by not covering their nose or their mouth, or people who don't wear them at all. I get that. It's like I mean, if you're going to wear the mask, then wear it right. I mean, I get that. What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? I got the Hustle Award one year at basketball camp when I was 15 years old, which is absolutely hilarious. I love that. Yeah, I did not get the Hustler Award when I was 15, but that's okay. We can't all be as baller as Jeannie was when she was 15, guys. Come on. What is something we would never know from looking at you? I was a first chair cellist in junior high, and I still play video games, which is so cool, by the way. I love old people who play video games. It's like young. It's like watching somebody young do taxes. It's like it doesn't feel right, but like in a good way, like in a really really good way. Who's your hero and why? My hero is my sister. She is a success story with a beautiful family, despite having not had support at an early age. That's cool. Which past survivor will you play the game like? I don't believe in playing the game like any other contestant before. I'm gonna have many alliances, so I can always have the best options to further my game. Yeah, this is like this is definitely a casual answer. Like I'd honestly be surprised if she's never fully actually seen this season. That's probably why she didn't say. And yeah, yeah, no. And then on top, she's like, I'm gonna have many alliances. Like, yeah, I think she has zero game to be honest. And she says, "Why do you believe you can win Survivor? I'm very likable and sincere, so people trust me. I'm also very nice, but no one will suspect me to be strategic." Yeah, kind of underwhelming answers on those last like five questions, I'd say. But yeah, I don't know. Next, we have another player from 41. We have, I believe, we're seven players left in our countdown. We have Xander Hastings. So we have age 21, Jacksonville, Florida, currently resides in Chicago. Ugh. Occupation app developer, very interesting. Hobbies: free climbing, road tripping, antique shopping, and graphic design. Three words to describe you: independent, resilient, and adventurous. Pet peeves: laziness and cockiness, especially from those who like to bark orders. Interesting. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, oh no. Okay, I thought for a second that Nasir was on the same tribe as Xander, because Nasir was like people who don't like people who slack off. But yeah, I think there's probably gonna be someone on his tribe who's like, oh my god, like, let's get to work on the shelter, and he's gonna be like, nah, I hate you. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Accomplishment: Nike Cross Nationals. It's the Super Bowl of cross country, and I love that people were baffled that my high school team even qualified. But he goes on to say like they had a very slim chance. Everyone was miserable, but being the best of the best, riddled with fear and intimidation, I felt a surge of confidence. Despite predictions that we would flop, we placed top 10. Interesting. Which is something that I would never know from looking at you. I love the pursuit of knowledge and experience. She talks about how he could spend hours discussing the genius of Richard Serra's commission for the NYC IRS building. Interesting. Um, who's your hero? Undoubtedly my dad. This man sacrifices everything for his family, especially for me to live out my exuberant adventures and ambitions. He served in the Navy Peace Corps, and now serves as a prominent doctor in the Jacksonville community. Which past survivor will you play the game like? Any of the Pretty Boy Challenge Beast Charmers, just take your pick. Jay, Joe, or Devin. Wow. He's not even trying to hide it. Oh my god! Like most of those guys go in there like, I'm gonna just play like whatever, and I'm gonna do this, and they end up having to do it. But he wants to play like that. That is such a red flag for me. That automatically makes me think that he has zero chance of win the game if he does play like that. Why do you think that you can win Survivor? I believe I'll be the final Survivor because I'm the jack of all trades, and there's nothing in life that can stop me. If I'm not happy with the situation, I'll change it and shape the world the way that I want to see it. I form deep bonds in every social sphere I encounter, and lives a very diverse life. There's no one I can relate to it and empathize with. Sorry, there's no one that I cannot relate to it and empathize with. I'm disciplined. It won't rest until the million's mine, and no matter what, I won't get cocky or complacent. Interesting. So yeah, he seems to be like a multi-layered person, but the one answer that really sold him having zero chance of winning for me is the fact that he wants to go in and play like Joe England. Like, come on now, just no. It's a hard no for me. Hard no for me. Interesting. Okay, so now we have Sarah Wilson. Sarah's 24. Pretty attractive girl, not like Sydney levels of povertyness, but pretty attractive. Sherman, North California. Oh, Phil from the Survivor Specialist is gonna love this one. Current residence, Boston, Mass. Well, now Alexa's gonna like this one. I don't know. Okay. Occupation is a healthcare consultant. Poker and aerial skills and trapeze and cooking and baking are her hobbies. 3 words to describe her: astute, which I think I know what that means, but I don't want to guess and be wrong. Resilient, witty, which is good. Okay, that's all good. Pet peeves: loud chewing and chewing with an old mouth. There's so many people who have said loud chewing. Uncleanliness, very crude humor, really crude. Oh, yeah, I love crude humor, so I'm gonna take a disliking to her. I'm very, very into like no bars given. Go for it. I hate people who hate crude humor because that just shows you're very sensitive, and I think in the game it's also not very good if you're gonna be super sensitive and kind of snowflakey. All right, what is the accomplishment that you're most proud of? I got a summer internship at a company in my junior year of college. I've been dreaming of working at the company for years. When I got there, they presented me with an engineering problem that they had 3 full-time senior engineers working on before I got there that summer. None of them were able to figure out the solution. I was there for 12 weeks and figured out the solution in 8 weeks after being told that they did not expect me to figure it out. Interesting. Um, what is something that we would never know from looking at you? I have so many layers, and I come off as super sweet, but I'm super tough and had the biggest fighting spirit that you'll ever see. I'm an absolute force to be reckoned with, and I feel bad for those who underestimate me. I like that answer. Like she seems to be coming in very confident, like confident in herself. Like she knows exactly who she is, which is very rare for a 24-year-old. And so yeah, I like that. Who is her hero? Her grandmother. She had passed away from COVID in April 2020. So we're definitely going to get a confessional about that in the first episode for sure, at least like throughout the season or whatever. Which past survivor will you play the game like Kim Spradlin? Shocker, shocker. Why do you believe that you can win Survivor? I don't think that there's ever been someone on the show with the same physicality, intelligence, and social awareness that I have. Interesting. Yeah, and it shows she seems to be going very, very confident. And I guess we'll have to see if that works out, or if she comes out looking kind of silly. Okay, so the next person that we're looking at, one of my personal favorites, just as far as like character wise, I got David Voice. I don't know. Age 35, Highland, California, born and currently residing in Chicago. A lot of Chicagians. Neurosurgeon, which is super cool. Hobbies: traveling, snowboarding, and eating. Three words to describe you: determined, passionate, and stubborn. I can relate to all of those actually. Pet peeve. My pet peeves revolve on people's incompetence, laziness, and lack of self awareness. I can agree with all three of these. When you work an insane number of hours a week, you just can't tolerate pure ineptness. 100% can agree with this, and I probably fall into this category sometimes too, and I think we all do. What is the accomplishment that you're most proud of? Hands down, I'm most proud of becoming a neurosurgeon that focuses on treating the brain cancer that claimed my father's life, which is super cool, by the way. Um, Something that we would never know from looking at you. Despite having a confident exterior, I still have to process a lot of emotional baggage. As with a lot of neurosurgeons, I have a trail of tears that I have to cope with on a routine basis. Who is your hero and why? My mom is my hero. She raised me and my sister herself after my father passed. Interesting. Which past Survivor player will you play the game most like? I would play with a similar aggressive nature as Russell Hantz. He was aggressive, but his social assimilation needed work. Todd Herzog had a brilliant social game. He did in a final tribal what Russell couldn't. Do I know how to pander to people and make them feel valuable? Even if I don't believe it, I would dominate in final tribal. Natalie Anderson had a pretty brilliant social game. She made big moves and covered her tracks perfectly. Kelly Wentworth was aggressive and had an uncanny ability to read her surroundings, and so do I. So Suri Fields is a master of this game, and if she was a little bit more athletic, she would dominate. Yeah, I like this. And then why do you believe you can win Survivor? I will be the sole survivor because I possess an ideal balance of charm with athleticism and grit. And he talks about how neurosurgery has prepared him, to be physically and emotionally beyond what is ready to play the game. And I like that. He says, however, I'm not a jock or a golden boy like Joey Amazing, Malcolm, or Ozzy, who will always be targets because of their persona. I can be extremely eloquent and persuasive, and my final tribal will rival the likes of Todd Herzog's. Interesting. This guy's coming in super confident. I like this guy, and I think we have our villain, honestly, for sure. And unless there's some sort of like Spencer situation where somebody comes in like wanting to be a villain, but they end up coming out like a hero. All right, so the next person that we have is Deshaun Radden. So this guy's interesting. He's a very positive guy. He doesn't give off a negative vibe at all. He's very, very positive. From all of his answers, he doesn't seem like he's going to be like doing anything negative on the show. And it's weird that from what I hear from behind the scenes, that he wants to get like a villain edit or something like that. Which is, I mean, from what these answers are, it's obviously not going to happen. So he's age 26 from San Bernardino. He currently lives in Miami. He's a medical student. Cooking, making music, and playing tennis are his hobbies. He's charming, devious, and resilient. Biggest pet peeve is being told what to do, which is fine. But if he acts on that pet peeve when being told what to do, he's going to have a serious issue. Let me see. He says the accomplishment that he's most proud of is getting into medical school and then getting a master's and a bachelor's degree under his belt. Interesting. What's something that we would never know from looking at you? We would never know that he's very introspective and empathetic around people. I'm always so outgoing, but I'm also someone who thinks a lot and someone who overthinks and overfeels for other people and sometimes my own situations. I get that. Who is his hero? His heroes are his parents because they truly took parenting personally, and they both come from challenging backgrounds, and they made it their duty to create a better life for his siblings and him. And he finds it amazing that they raised five genuinely good human beings with good hearts and strong moral compasses, and that can be hard to come by these days. He says that he would like to play like a Suri Fields or a Wendell in the future. He said, and this is his quote, that I'll be like a Suri and a Wendell love child, which is not an image I want in my head. What do you believe that you can win Survivor? I believe I believe that I can be the final Survivor because of a combination of social, mental, and physical skills. I studied the game of Survivor like I was studying for a medical school test, and what I have found is that in order to outplay, and outlast, you must have all three skills. These skills come or these skills must work harmoniously together and shine at different points in the game. I like that. So overall, I think Deshaun super positive. I don't think Deshaun has a real shot at winning. And so now that's like 3 or 4 people now that I've got to where I think they have zero shot. I think Deshaun, Jeannie, Erica, and Liana, I think right now, and Xander. So that's 5. I feel like those 5 had zero shot to win the game. If they win the game, you can clip this and embarrass me. But I generally think that they have no shot. And we have Tiffany. We have Tiffany now. So Tiffany is one of our older members. She is from Forest Hills, Queens, in New York. She now lives in Plainview, New York. She is a teacher. She likes running, talking to people, building things in the house because someone has to. Those are her words. She says 3 words to describe her: funny, loving, and in all caps, loud. Pet peeves: I hate being wrong. I also hate loud chewing with mouth open. Oh my god. That's the 4th person to say that. Oh my god. People in power that abuse it. Interesting. I like that. What is the accomplishment that you're most proud of? Proud of raising my 2 boys to be fine young men. They're loving, open, and honest, which is super cool. What's something that we would never know from looking at you? I hate brushing my teeth before bed. I never wash my face. Interesting. I like that. I like that. Who is your hero and why? My grandmother's my hero. My mother was her only child, and she so gracefully lived through her untimely passing. And she just goes on to talk about how her grandma's a really good person. Which person would you like to play the game like? I'd like to play competitively like Ozzy, loyal like Kobe, but not to the detriment of my own game, and endearing like Parvati. I hate these answers. I've obviously talked about Parvati in great detail and how her game will never win. Obviously, Ozzy is just shivers down my spine. No, no, no. And then Colby is the worst of all 3 of these. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Yeah. Moving on. Why do you believe that you can win Survivor? I'm patient and experienced in seeing the bigger picture. I know when to strike when the iron's hot, so to speak, and I can read people in a minute and read their energy. Yeah. This is you could add one to the not win the game list. I think Tiffany is the 6th person on our list of not being able to win the game. That's just my personal opinion. Our next one we have is my man, Eric Abraham. He is 51 years old. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He currently lives in San Antonio, Texas, and his occupation is a cybersecurity analyst. His hobbies are basketball, golfing, and reading. He is open-minded, optimistic, and confident. His pet peeves are people who have characteristics of being slothful, condescending, and psychophantic. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that means, but yeah. What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? My daughter, as she is the next generation in our family. I like that. I like like when people are proud of their own kids. What's something that we would never know from looking at you that you like? I love scuba diving. I enjoy examining the surface of the moon, stars, or passing comments with my very own telescope. That's very interesting of him to take an interest in that unique hobby, I guess you could say. His hero is his grandfather. Um, what players would you like to play the game as? I would construct a hybrid playing style of Richard Hatch, Wendell, and a touch of Boston Rob. Interesting. Why do you believe you can win Survivor? I was taught to always dream big and shoot higher than you can do. Don't bother to just be better than your contemporaries or predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. The game is not my only motivation. It's my tool to just to show myself that I can be the sole survivor. So he's coming in. I think out of all of the old people, I think this guy has the best shot of winning. I think this is the only guy out of all of like the 40 the 50 plus club aside from Brad, because I think he has a little bit of game. I think Brad and Eric are the 2 in this like 40 plus club that have a chance of winning. I have yet to see Heather. I think she's up next. And we only have two people left as well, which is exciting. But yeah, I think we should be seeing Heather soon, if not on this next one. And I think we only have one more, and that is Heather. Oh no, hold on. Nope, we have Heather and then one more. So Heather is age 52. Hometown is Charleston, South Carolina. She still lives there. Her occupation is a stay-at-home mom. I love when they bring on these perspectives, because they always have the whole like, like I'm a working woman, I'm a businesswoman, like that Natalie Cole archetype, which is super cool, and I love that. But I also want like like a different perspective, and a stay-at-home mom is definitely a different perspective than like a Natalie Cole who runs her own business and a super strong personality. Hobbies: exploring, painting, tennis, pickleball. Interesting. I like pickleball too. It seems pretty fun. Pet peeves: loud cell phone talkers. Agreed, because of the secondhand embarrassment. People who choose not to hear the truth. Agreed. Bullies. Agreed. Okay, good. What accomplishment are you most proud of? With the profit that I made with the sale of my first house, which I bought all by myself, I was able to pay off the remainder of my student loans and all of my personal debt. Marrying my husband 100% debt free was the absolute best gift to myself. I'm still raising two strong, courageous, kind daughters, but I'm sure who they are becoming is undoubtedly going to be my best accomplishment. That's really sweet. What is something that we would never know from looking at you? I had a very challenging upbringing, having a passion for opossums, and I cuss like a drunk sunburned sailor. Jesus Christ, sunburn. Whoa. What's the difference between a sunburned sailor and a sailor who puts on sunscreen at the start of the day? Listen, I need to know. I need Heather to personally contact me to let me know. Who's your hero and why? I know many heroes. My definition of a hero is anyone who goes against the grain and stands up for what he/she believes in the face of ridicule. Interesting. Which past survivor would you put the game like Rick Devens? That is not the person that I want any player going and thinking of like how to play. Like, it's very similar to how Danny wanted to go and play like Ben, but at least Danny, I think he has more potential in the game than Heather does. I do not like that she wants to play like that. She said Agent Sasher and her nurturing persona played in Tina Weston's favor, and so I would want to play like her. She was very calculated, direct, but also kind, and that she said that she embodies the kindness of Lisa Whelchel, but with the savviness of Chrissy Hoffbeck. Interesting. So these are all people that definitely relate to her, look just like her. Like she seems to like these strong old like team mom kind of like people who got far. Why do you believe that you can win Survivor? I'm sharp, observant, like OCD observant. I'm surprisingly very strong and have a ridiculously high threshold for pain. Interesting. I wish I did. I'm always hurting over something. But yeah, interesting. She seems like a decent like person. I do not think she has a chance of winning, but I think out of all of the old females, she probably has the best shot of winning. Like out of Heather and Jeannie, she definitely has a better shot of winning than either of them by a country mile. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for going on this two-part journey with me. It means a lot if you guys keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I will keep making these videos. Like, comment, share, do all that good stuff. And most importantly, that notification bell is so important. Give me suggestions in the comments for videos that you want me to do in the future. And what are you guys' winner picks? Tell me in the comments. I mean, I know I haven't asked you guys a lot, but what is your guys' winner picks? Please don't put any boot orders, because then I get people claiming that they're spoilers or whatever, and I don't want any of that stuff. Please, none of those spoilers in the comments. But yeah, just say if you want to give me your winner pick, I'm more than happy to tell you whether I think they have a chance or not. But yeah, these are just my opinions. I thought I'd go over the cast, pretty briefly. And I think this cast is truly special, and it could be a really good season. I think at worst, it's a top 30 season. At best, it's a top 15, maybe 10 season, which is super exciting to think about. September 22nd. We're so close, guys. And I will talk to you guys in the next one.